Hold on, man. Karceno, what's up, brother?
What's good? What's good with you, Coach Malachi? What's up, man?
Man, I appreciate you, man. I was like, man, I reached out to Blood Boxing yesterday. I say, Blood. He said, what's up, bro? I say, man, I've always wanted to meet Karceno. When I first came on the scene, you was having the boxing at that time. Not when I first came on the scene, but when I first started watching like YouTube videos and boxing, it's about 2014. So I'm going back. You know, you was the one of the main ones I used to watch. You, Dante's Boxing Nation.
Yeah.
And Blood Boxing. Yeah, Blood Boxing. And then I came on the scene 5 years ago, and I think you had left boxing alone altogether.
I kind of did it on a little bit. We had the website, and then I kind of let the younger guys do it because the younger guys was taking over on the website because we had boxing socialists. Then now it's boxing and basketball. We still got it. But the younger guys, they mostly go to the fights now and do all that. So I just still own the website with Sean. Me and Sean own it, but the younger kids, so me and Sean own the website. So everybody else, the younger guys, they want to write, they want to go out to the fights and do the interviews. I kind of like let them do that. I'm like, all right, y'all got that now. It's y'all time. I'll let y'all go do that. I done went through 1,000 fights. 1,000 moments. So I was like, I understood that feeling. So I just let them have it.
Karceno, for all of those in the chat who may not even know who you are, I know exactly who you are. Everybody, all the OGs know who you are. Let everybody know who what's your background and how you got into boxing. Just let them know who you are. Give them an introduction of yourself.
Well, my introduction into it from the boxing standpoint is we were all coming up in like the early 90s, like boxing on the website in the gym. I remember I walked in the gym just like, man, let me just, box and get in shape because I always loved boxing, period. Yeah. So that was like my first love in the sport of boxing. But Nate Jones, this is how I know Floyd.
Shout out to Nate.
Big Nate was in the same gym. So he was boxing at the heavyweight, and he was small to be fighting at heavyweight, I thought, but he was fighting in the heavyweight division, but he was slick. So he was good, and then the same guy that was coaching him was training me at the time, but then I was like, man, I was so good. Like, speed, everything, man. It was just footwork. Soon as we got in the ring, man, I'm going with a guy that's so experienced, I'm just landing. I'm thinking like, man, dude, I could be world champion by next week. And I'm getting off doing everything I want to do, all the combinations they taught me. I'm running them on them. And then they was like, oh, you think you're doing something? The guy was like, oh, you think you're doing something? Like, all right, now go on and give him something. The guy's like, all right, now go on and step it up. And the guy he was just there taking it, like, okay, yeah, that's nothing. And then he was like, okay, boom. I was like, whoa, time out. Wait a minute, that's gonna leave a mark. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's already like, is that a cut? I was like, oh no, no, I didn't know that. I can get hit too. So
what made you start? What made you decide to go into content creation as related to boxing? Like,
I'm gonna get there because after that, Nate and Floyd, we went to Milwaukee. I was there watching Nate. Him and Floyd ended up fighting on the same card, and that's how they met.
What year that was?
Yeah, that was 95. I would say 1995. And they met in 95 in Milwaukee, and Floyd came. First thing he said, he walked straight up and said, I'm the best fighter in the world, right?
95, Floyd was still Floyd did he turn pro in 96, right?
Yeah, he turned pro at like the end of 90. He went to the Olympics in 96. So this is like one of the national tournaments and stuff like that. So we out there. And this was our first time meeting Floyd. We ain't never met him. And he walked up and was like, I'm the best fighter in the world, right? And we was like, who is you?
Yeah.
So Nate had already fought. He won his fight. So he was telling everybody, stick around and watch his fight. He's like, stick around and watch my fight. So everybody was getting ready. And they was like, where's that little dude the little one that had all that mouth? Is he fighting? So he goes and we look in the ring. We like, yeah, let's stick around and see what he looked like. So he's like, he had all this mouth, and man, we stuck around and watched his fight, and it was a masterpiece. Like it was like I don't even think the dude that he was fighting actually landed a punch.
A punch, yeah, man. Pretty boy, hey man, to see that, yeah, Pretty boy was a mother, man.
Yeah, so after that, him and Nate became tight. And then I saw him again like years later, like throughout the time when Nate was fighting with him and rolling with him, I would meet up with them. So, and then he'll come to Chicago and kick it. So that's how I really got into the camps with Floyd and everything else, and seeing how he trained, seeing how the discipline and everything that he followed to the letter. Like he was definitely a one-of-one there, because I've never seen a fighter train like him ever in my life. And I've seen fighters train in a routine. Nobody trains like that. And that's what part that people don't see. They see the 24/7, they see the plan, the flash, he throw the money, and they just think, oh, he can't definitely be working like that. Oh, he worked like that.
Hey, I want to pivot a little bit, right? Hold on. Am I echoing? Oh, sorry about that.
No,
so because I know you used to cover Floyd a lot, like because of your close relationship with him.
Yeah.
And now we see, and I remember, like, you used to talk a lot about, Floyd, Al Haymon, PBC, and stuff like that. And you were the first guy I thought of when his lawsuit dropped. What do you think about? I know you read the lawsuit. I have it as well. I read it. Al Haymon, he's suing, Floyd is suing Showtime and Stephen Espinoza for $340 million. And he's saying there was a scheme, or meaning a crime or whatever, that was concocted by Al Haymon, to scheme him out of $340 million. And I'm like, at one point in time, he said Al was like a father to him. He praised him. The reason why fighters say, first of all, I want to thank Al Haymon is because of Floyd Mayweather. Because he was the first one I ever seen say that. Right. Yeah. So how do you feel about this? Like what the hell you think is really going on? Because it seemed like he's throwing Al under the bus.
Well, I've talked to the team since I've done my video. Actually, in the video I did, and I want you to bring this picture up right quick. I want to show them this.
Where's that? You just sent it to me on my phone?
It's in there. And when you see the picture, I want to for them to have the example. I've actually talked to some people from PBC. I talked to Sam Watson. So I talked to Sam, and we spoke about it briefly. But it's in the StreamYard. It's in the back.
Oh, the StreamYard? Oh, okay. All right, I have it right. Okay, so how do I? Oh, wait. How do I add it to the?
Oh, you see the button at the bottom when it had those pictures on there where you can go side by side, and you click one of the buttons.
Oh, I see it. Oh, wait. Matter of fact, let me stop sharing the screen on that. All right, there
you go. Yeah. So that's right there. You're looking at Al Haymon present Floyd Mayweather with his check after a fight. This was after the second Madonna fight. He gave Floyd his check. Now, you will never see this photo anywhere else. So I'm gonna tell you right now, because one, Al don't like to be photographed and recorded or anything. Al doesn't do interviews. Al don't really talk. Al is a Harvard graduate who came from Cleveland, and his brother used to box, and he just saw how after his brother's career, he didn't have anything after boxing. And Al Haymon was a promoter for years. He put together the Michael Jackson, the Victory Tour.
Yeah, him and Don. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, with Don.
Him and Don.
All the Frankie Beverly and Mays, Bad Boy Tour.
New Edition. Whitney Houston, MC Hammer.
Right. All of that. So that just shows you how far back Al Haymon goes. Al has money. Like, he have access to a lot of money. But the thing about Al is that Al is done it by staying behind the scenes, but he wanted to come into boxing and take over. Vernon Forrest was his first fighter, for people that don't remember. So that was his first guy he really got behind when he beat Shane Mosley. That's why it was so important for him, because it really gave him his foot into the game. once he got in, he knew how to negotiate contracts to where other fighters, they were never getting a lot of back end money on pay-per-view. They were getting paid flat fees. He changed that. So when he came in and started doing his model, HBO didn't like Al Heyman, of course. So they wanted to get him out of the way. So when Floyd needed him, he came in and helped Floyd because Floyd had got swindled out of $20 million after the De La Hoya and the Ricky Hatton fight. All of that money he had in his bank account from that fight, when he went into his retirement, he let some guy that we don't even know come in and finesse him out of like $20+ million.
To my Floyd?
Yes. And this is when he was threatening to go sign with Don King because of this incident that happened. But Floyd did that on his own. A guy came in and said, hey, man, I could take your money. You give me $1 million, I could turn that to 3 with this whole technical thing they did. So Floyd ended up trusting the dude. The dude had cars, jewelry, and all this stuff. Came by the crib. Floyd wired him like $1 million, and he gave him like, and the money came back. It was like 2-3 million. Dude was like, see, I told you, man, it works just like this. So Floyd gave him like 2.5 million. And he turned that to 5 million. Like, see, in days. He's like, see, this is how it works, Floyd. I'm telling you, this is, man, you got to get this. So Floyd was like, oh, I'm gonna be a billionaire. I'm making millions a day. So he was really excited about it. And right after that, that's when all of a sudden, out of the blue, the guy said, man, you give me access to this and I got access to the account, I'm gonna just put this 5 that we got back in. And then by the end of the day, we gonna have like probably about 50-60 million, or probably more. Because he's like, this is the big score. And the guy, so Floyd gave him access. He took like 20+ million out of the account. And the guy disappeared. They couldn't find him.
What year this was?
This was in 2000, I want to say around 2008 or 9, around that time. And this is when Floyd started hanging with Don King, and Don was gonna give him 100 million. He was in Orlando at that time saying he finna sign with Don King. And Al was taking care of that, trying to find out. They almost caught that guy too. They was, man, they were looking for him. But that guy was a scammer that they let come in. They had nothing to do with Al. And Al helped him out with his tax situation because that's how he got into the tax problems that he had. And a lot of people didn't know that incident happened, but that was real, people. That really happened. He got swindled out of like 20+ million. And that was a bad time, and his taxes got behind. Al came in and said, look, we're going to help you out, because Al was representing him at that time. Because before he had James Prince.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, James Prince, yeah.
He had James Prince, and then that incident went left. And so Al Heyman helped him negotiate, said, buy out your contract with Bob Arum. Bought him out of his contract with Bob, and he became his own promoter. And you've seen fighters do that now. They get out of their contract with promoters and start promoting themselves. But Floyd is at the point where he can market and promote himself in that way, but he needed a landing home. And Oscar De La Hoya with Golden Boy, they needed Al Heyman. So what Al Heyman did was negotiated with Oscar De La Hoya and say, okay, well, I already see how y'all platform is set up. Y'all are good for us because you don't have any black fighters on your card. All y'all do is promote Latinos. Besides Shane Mosley and Bernard Hopkins, there ain't nobody black on Golden Boy. Everybody Hispanic. And he said, that's cool. We can work here because I have black fighters. And we're going to basically partner. And this is going to help us out. So we're going to have nothing here but the best of the best. So you got, you have Deontay Wilder. You had, like, he brought in all of the fighters. Al did from his side, the black fighters. Then Oscar De La Hoya had Canelo and everything else. So when they did the Showtime deal, I was with Floyd when he signed the contract. When he got the 300+ million, we were in Detroit, Michigan. And that was when Ishe Smith had won the title, the first fighter from Mayweather's team to ever win the title outside of him was Ishe when he beat K9. And
Yeah,
K9,
K9. Yeah.
yeah. So we was in Detroit at the Masonic Temple. So it was Floyd's birthday weekend. So we was also at the party on the MGM building. So at this time, the negotiation for the deal, we knew he was fighting Robert Garcia. So that fight was getting announced right away.
Mm.
So he's fighting Robert Garcia. Then he's fighting, I think, Victor Ortiz after that or something. But it was already in negotiation that Manny Pacquiao and Canelo would definitely be in that mix, in that 6-fight deal that he had. So guaranteed he was going to make billions in this contract. And that's what Al was telling him, like, you're going to amass $1 billion out of this deal. He says, this is just the initial money that you're going to make. You're going to make more than that. But then he told him, you got to rebrand yourself. You got to separate yourself from HBO. Steven Espinoza, who they're suing, was working for Golden Boy at the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's Golden Boy's guy. Haymon knows him and Richard Schaefer. They start rolling to Al Haymon because Al is smart. Oscar is just the face. These are the businessmen. He's a Swiss banker, Richard Schaefer. And Steven Espinoza is really a gopher. He's there to do the errand works and everything else, but he's really a gopher in this situation. Al Haymon is the one that they really were working for. So yeah. Al put Steven Espinoza in Showtime, got them to hire him as the president of the boxing operations. Al did that. Al said,
damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why they put him there. And that's why when Al brought Floyd there, Steven Espinoza became president of boxing.
That's why. So is that the reason why Floyd is saying in his lawsuit that, hey, look, Steven was working with Al to scheme me out of money. Is that why? Does that have some kind of relation?
Well, I think he's bringing light to it because he have to for all of the back stuff that he owes. Floyd has bad spending habits. He's always had, because he didn't know. Since a kid, he's never had a concept of money. Like, he doesn't know what something costs. If he goes somewhere, he over tips. He'll tip the guy who give him a bag, give him $100. Boom, boom, give him $100. And they'd be like, dude, you don't gotta give him $100. Like, give him a 20. You know, like, get it. You ain't gotta. But he don't know the concept. He's just like, I would rather overpay than somebody to say I didn't tip them what I should.
Yeah.
So he has a big heart. He likes to give back. But his concept is he didn't understand how this was helping him, what they were doing. And I think he's at the point now, because they were basically giving him snipings, like, we're going to sniping you the money, so this would keep you in a lower tax bracket. See, Floyd didn't understand that because he's a tax attorney. So the money on the back end, instead of giving you the big lump sum and you got to pay this massive tax, this is how your tax was low. So they were just giving it to you in portions, saying, hey, this is going to pay this, pay that, pay this, and this is in this account here. And mostly it was in a hedge fund. And most of these hedge funds, that's how PBC got funded, through the hedge fund.
Yeah, White Island Reed, I remember.
Right. So this is how Al was operating. Now, the thing is that Floyd, the reason he can't sue Al is because he signed a POA. And that's for everybody that's listening, that is called power of attorney. Yep. He signed the power of attorney over to Al. So Al got power of attorney to basically do whatever he wants. Al has a law license. So Al can act as a lawyer if he wants to. I don't know if it's still valid to this day, but you give up.
And Al has an MBA as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, he does. And from Harvard. So Harvard business. So this man understood exactly what he was doing and how he was doing it. And he knows how to work under the scale, over the scale, any way you want. But when you sign those papers over with Al, you gave him, he's not your manager. And that's what people make it, like, they blur the lines. He's not your promoter. He's not your manager. He's an advisor. And he puts himself in that title for a reason. You can't really legally stick him with anything. He's an advisor. He advised you what to do. And that's why you can't. Al is unsuable in this situation. He's your advisor.
Hey, look here. Hey, hold on, Karceno.
Well, you know, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and sing Al Haymon.
Hey man, hey man, look here, man. Hey, I don't like now. Look, it seemed like they're trying to. They're not suing Al, but it seemed like he's scandalizing the man's name. Al has been good to Floyd. When I came on the scene, they say Al was like a messiah. You got Mexican fighters like Leo Santa Cruz naming their children after him, and Al ain't nobody complaining about Al. They love him. Come on, man. Come on, Karceno. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about Al. Al made sure Floyd had a lot of business taken care of through Al. Al did a lot of things inside and outside for Floyd. That was like, dude, if it wasn't for Al Haymon, this shit would have been crashed a long time ago. Man. Al was keeping everything afloat. But in 2024, he fired Al. He went with these new people after 2024. He liked what was going on. He liked the fact that Al didn't want kicking him off with no extra money. And he was like, where the money at? You know, that's what Floyd like, man, where the money at? You couldn't have given me all my money.
Yeah.
And he's basically telling him, he was like, well, I want to see the records because he brought in new people. They was like, you wouldn't want to see the books from Showtime. We want to see what Al done, like see him that they can get an audit done from Showtime so that he has to put this legal paperwork in place so that they can get an audit. Al told him, hey, it got lost in the flood, dog. Paperwork, oh yeah, that got lost in the flood.
It got lost in the flood, fam. It happened. Listen, Noah went through a great flood thousands of years ago, brother. If Noah can go through the flood, it can happen. Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, so he told him, hey man, that flood got it. So I talked to, when this lawsuit was going through, I called Sam Watson, and Sam, that's who everybody thought was Al Haymon. Yeah, so I talked to Sam. Sam was like, man, Floyd just a crazy ass fighter, man. He don't listen to nobody.
Yeah.
And, you know, he spent up all his money, man. You know how it is. He went through all that money, man. Now he owe all this stuff, and ain't nobody there to take care of him. And these new people he got, he went with them Jewish boys, and, you know, he thought, like, he's like, now they got him doing these showcase fights. He's like, we do real fights over here. We don't do the showcase thing, man. That's him fighting. He fighting overseas, fighting Gotti twice. He's like, oh, they ain't got nothing to do with us.
Hey, Karceno, I want to. You said something about our Jewish brothers and sisters. If you could pick up what I'm putting down, our beautiful Jewish brothers and sisters. When he was at the Republican Jewish Coalition 3 months ago, and he pledged his allegiance. He spoke how he will always support Israel, and he always gonna have their back, and he gonna support them wholeheartedly. So, I noticed, I said, well, look like Floyd might have made some new friends, and I wanted to do, and Al got enemies in boxing who they didn't want to see him succeed because he was helping a lot of fighters and paying them and putting a whole lot of money in their pockets and setting up their families and stuff. And I can imagine there's a lot of people that don't like that. Is it a possibility? I'm not saying it is, but is that a possibility that some of Floyd's newfound friends or someone else may have a motive to try to take down, they can't sue Al, but try to take him down as well as by naming him in this lawsuit?
Yeah, by putting his name out there, but not suing him. Absolutely. They want to show like, see, this guy's a crook, knowing that they have controlled 92% of boxing business for the last 200 years. They have controlled that, and they have manipulated the game to where they got paid and the fighters got nothing. That the Muhammad Ali had to come out with the Muhammad Ali Act to guarantee that the fighters get 80% and the promoter could only get 20. They had to put that in effect because they were just totally taking everything from the fighters.
From the fighter,
yeah. Right. So all of the legendary fighters, they should have health and all the money they made. All of them are poor and they don't have money to take care of themselves. Like Magic Marlon Starlins, man, I was like, man, his body is all brittled up from fighting, and there's nobody there to really give him support. He got part dementia. It's just sad. You see what happened to some of our fighters, and Floyd was like, I'm not gonna go out that way.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm just gonna make sure I'm doing investments, make sure I'm not doing this and this. So he was always on investing. That's one thing I'll give Floyd. But people, when you have money, they will come to try to manipulate and get everything off of you as much as possible. They send people in, they might be a friend. This guy knows somebody. Y'all go to the Hublot shop, he give you a $250,000 watch saying you part of the family. But Floyd doing that told me that there was a bigger problem at hand. He wants to invest into this new property that they got with the buildings. And he wants to, like, skyscrapers, and he wants to get into the Dubai skyscrapers and everything else. So his support with Israel and all of this, he want to get into that financial group so that they would let Floyd come in, and it pretty much guarantees how much money he will be making per month. And he'll be like, oh, if I'm in there and I'm backing them, long as I'm good with them and the Republicans and the conservative parties, that I'm still in that circle. They're going to take care of me and make sure I'm good, long as I'm singing their praises. And they're going to let him in. So they brought him out there to do it. Dog and pony show him around. And I said, oh, he wasn't with Al no more when he doing that. I knew that. I was like, something's going on. And they was like, 2024, man. He's like, that was the last time we really was working with Floyd. He's like, we ain't talked to him since 2024. I was like, oh, he's like, he with them new people now. They got him. But he's like, he gonna see at the end, because it's like, how you gonna sue Showtime for allocating the funds when you gave power of attorney over to Al? It's gonna be hard for them to do. And they said, well, you didn't pay me, you paid my advisor that you gave power of attorney to. You signed power of attorney to Al, and you're not suing Al. You're not suing the lawyer that you gave power of attorney to. You're suing Showtime. So,
hey, Karceno, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, wait, you ain't suing Al, but wait, what? I'm like, bro, like, I almost jumped out the window at first, right? Then I said, wait a minute. Then I ran across that video that Floyd did, and shout out to our beautiful brothers at the Republican Jewish Coalition. No problem. I saw him over there giving a speech over there, and I said, oh, then hey, Karceno, then a light bulb went off of my head. I said, I ain't got but a GED, but I have a master's degree in common sense. Something, man, it was like, this is the timing just too perfect.
Yeah. And that it was perfectly aligned, because that's where he is now. Floyd will align with anybody that's going to give him a check. That picture of Al handing him the check is how his life is. He was always there receiving a check. Somebody always gave him a check. And once you always just like, somebody goes going to pay me a check. Like, he always used to tell me, because he'll forget my name every time we're there. And I'll be like, man, you done forgot my name again. And he go, look, man, I'm going to tell you like this. The only people name I remember is the last person that wrote me the check and the last chick I slept with. That's them the only names I remember.
Man.
But he was like, man, but you got to like reintroduce yourself almost to him. And then once he realized, he's like, oh yeah, I remember him. Then next thing you know, you his best friend.
But why is that though? Is he losing his memory, or
he just don't care to focus on it? Like, if you're not somebody he see 24 hours a day, like, he don't see me that long. He see me like maybe once, twice a year. So when he see me, all the events or what happened with us, it comes back like a flood. It's like somebody like, oh yeah, you was there, man. Oh man, they cheated us. I was like, yeah. The Adrian Broner incident, I was there. I'm like, yeah, with AB, they was tripping over a basketball game. I was like, yeah, exactly. He's like, we played in the same conditions, because Mayweather and Broner would play ball all the time. Floyd want to be great at every single thing, and AB, he could play ball. Like Adrian Broner could play, shoot threes, cross shoot, everything, right? So they won. They beat Floyd. And when they beat Floyd, him and P. Rilla, Floyd and P. Rilla went against Twin and Adrian Broner, and that didn't go well when after they beat Floyd and them. So they played outdoors and it was all windy. So AB couldn't get his shots to go in because they were missing. And then Floyd and them won. Like, man, we beat y'all out there in Florida. He was like, man, dog, it was all windy as hell. And I was like, yeah, but come on, man. I was like, we played in the hood. We played outside, dog. You know,
the elements,
it's same conditions. And that's when Floyd was like, that's right. That's what my man said right here. Same conditions.
Man, hey. So is there a possibility? Like, cause I'm thinking like athletes blow their money, spend money all the time. And Floyd, me being on the outside looking in, what he shows to the world is that he's a compulsive gambler and he loves spending money. Now, I don't know how much of that is just him flogging for the camera, and he's bragging about he buying $18 million Rolex watches, his fleet of cars. I have heard that he owned all of his stuff, like all his cars he owned it, whatever houses he owned. I did hear that, you know, he's supposed to be investing in like you say, skyscrapers in New York, Dubai, stuff like that. He did this video not too long ago saying his new investment, he's gonna be making $300 million a month. And I think I'm not sure, but I think he said this around the time I guess he made his new friends, because this video was probably within probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years old the most.
Yeah, it's with his new friends, and what he doesn't realize is that the group collectively will be making about $300 million a year off the fund. That's not going to be his cut. He's not gonna make that off.
He's not gonna make 300.
$300 million a month. If he did, that's a great achievement. But he's in line to make some really good money off of renting and owning skyscrapers, and being able to do that is genius, because once you do that and you own a piece of the entire building, every office in there, you get a piece of everything. The business is coming into there. That's consistent money coming in. But the thing about it also is that when you align yourself in those groups, you don't know, you're right back in the same boat. You don't know, they're just using you for your celebrity. So once that starts to dire down and you're no longer bringing anything towards them of any value, they have no use for you. So then you got to find out who's there to protect you now for your tax problems. Who's there to protect you from everything that's going to happen that Al had to do. When the IRS was coming to put the chains on your doors, when he gave him that check in that picture, ladies and gentlemen, when Al Haymon handed Floyd that check in that photo, the look on Floyd's face is complete surprise, because it's not what he thought the check was. And he giving him two checks. He gave him one check and he said, this is for the tax we had to take out for the taxes. Now, everybody on Floyd's team always got paid on Monday. Leonard Ellerby would come in and pay everybody on Monday. He would come in. If the fight was Saturday night, on Monday, you got paid. Everybody got a check who was on the payroll. They come right to the gym. They say, hey, meet up at the gym, the Mayweather gym or whatever. And there it is. Everybody getting their check. Boom. Where you at? Boom. Here your check. Boom. Here your check. Everybody was paid on time. So Al made sure everybody was paid. So I don't know how he never got his money. But in that fight, Floyd had owed the tax man, and he waited to the end of that fight, because he told him, he's like, you didn't pay taxes on the last one. So you're going to have to pay the taxes now through this here. So this is what you're getting right now. This is going to the tax man. So he gave him two checks, and Floyd was confused. Like, so they take, this is all I'm getting. He was like, yeah, but the back end money, you going to keep all of that. He's like, trust me, you paying your taxes here. This is for you. This for the tax man. Everything else, you're going to be able to keep on the back end. So whatever account Al had the money coming in, Al contract only gives him 10%. And then he didn't have a contract anymore. His contract was for 360 days. And he got 10%. After the first year, they never signed another deal. Al was just there. And he was just like, hey, Al, my advisor, I'm sticking with Al Haymon. Al getting me this money. So now they didn't even have another deal in place. Al deal was for 360 days. The first year, 365. That 1 year, as an advisor, he got 10%. After that, they never really had another deal. He just kept Al around. Like, Al ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, because he was saying that Al's like a father to him, and bro, like everybody praising Al Haymon, and I'm like, I haven't heard anything bad about him, and I'm hearing people saying, well, you know, his enemies don't like him. There are people who don't like him. They say he's a crook, he A, B, C, and D, and you know, and I'm like, well, you know, Floyd got this situation. He's suing. Now I did see the interview that Stephen Espinoza gave. He only touched on it a little bit because the guy asked him. Stephen didn't look like he was worried at all.
No, because Al put him there. It's like, man, look, Al put me in that seat, man. Come on, you know that. But he was like, look, dude, you was there working with Showtime. You were president of Showtime, so I got to name you in the suit. I can't say Showtime and don't. You was the president of Showtime, but we all know Al put you in the seat. That's why now that he's not there, he's working for PBC. Over with Amazon and PBC, which is
yeah. You talking about Espinoza is working. He working with PBC right now. Yeah,
exactly, because he works for Al, and that's it. And that's just how it's got to roll. So he know what time it is. I mean, Espinoza only gonna give you so much, but he knows what time it is.
Yeah.
The 50 Cent came into this story. And I'm gonna let y'all know too. I talked about it a little bit on the Patreon. I got a video over there, but give me
your Patreon because I want to sign up for it.
Okay, Karceno for life on Patreon.
All right, I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna sign up for it today.
That's what's up. Now here's the thing.
He said Karceno for life.
Yeah.
Is that the number 4 or?
Yeah, the number 4.
Life spelled the right way.
Mm-hmm.
LIFE.
Mm-hmm.
Patreon.
Now, yeah, on Patreon. And we talked about the 50 Cent part over there because when 50 Cent came into the picture, 50 Cent was going through kind of a financial strain, but not that much. Because he kind of, you know, him and Floyd been tight for years, but he just walked in to the gym one day. Floyd didn't even know he was coming. He just showed up at the gym right when they was filming 24/7 when he's going to fight Victor Ortiz. 50 just walked into the gym and was like, hey, what's up? In the middle of them filming. And he was like, oh, that's Fifth. You know, Floyd know Fifth right away, you know. And so they came right in and he just started. It was the greatest 24/7 promotion they had. And Fifth just jumped in. But at that time, he was fighting with Interscope. You know, 50 was at the end of his deal with them.
With Jim Iovine and all them.
Yeah. Label. Yeah, so he was keeping his face out there and staying relevant at the time. But at this, he's getting into the movie and television side. He was just getting that started and going into that realm. And he got a $260 million deal because he paid for Mark Wahlberg's meal. And that's really what got him in the door. Mark invited him to the table. And Floyd and Mark Wahlberg ended up falling out because Floyd wanted to fight him after he saw him go over there to Manny Pacquiao after he was training with Mark Wahlberg, teaching him stuff, him and 50 and Floyd. And they were supposed to come out with a movie. They was going to get their own movie company with Diddy involved and F. Gary Gray. And they was all of them was like, okay, we're going to own and distribute our own movies. We're going to put them out. Because they was talking about at this time, Redbox had came up and Redbox was the way to go. It's like, look, Redbox is doing this. They doing millions. So this was before Netflix streaming and all that, when Netflix used to send you the disc at home.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. So all of that was happening at the same time. So all of this is going on and meetings are taking place. Fifth come in the middle of all of this. Comes in like 2011 and he's hanging with Floyd. So all of this is happening. He goes ahead for the Victor Ortiz fight. Everything is good. He patched things up with Lil Wayne at the fight.
Yeah.
So it's all love. So when this was all said and done, they was through with it. And Floyd, he's looking at everything. Like Fifth came up to us because he was just sitting back and observing everybody.
Mhm.
And we was like, why? Fifth ain't saying nothing. He just chilled, you know. And I was just like, Fifth, one of my favorite rappers. So I was like, man, I ain't want to come up to him like a fan, you know. So I just like, I'm gonna be cool. And then he just gradually, when we all going in to eat, he came up in there and he was speaking to everybody like individually. You know, he would say something to somebody, and then he just came up to me and was like, what's your zodiac sign? And I said, Sagittarius. He's like, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then he's like, then he just walked off. And I was like, that was weird. I was like, I told my boy, like, that was weird. Right. And then he's really in there. He asked Nate the same thing. And he told Nate was like, he said the same thing to me. I said Taurus. And he said, yeah, he's like, you loyal. He's like, you loyal even when you should be, when you shouldn't be. You loyal. And he was like, what the hell he mean? Yeah. He's being real cryptic. And what he was trying to do, and I was like, now that we saw everything play out, he was setting the stage. 50 Cent was trying to find out who was the unloyal person he could use. He wanted to find the crack. And he found the crack in Tommy. Guy named Tommy, who came home from jail, cool with Floyd, everything else. He's sitting there and he was like, all right, Tommy's in there. He used to work with Don King and this and that. Tommy want to get to the bag. Fifth, like, that's the guy. That's who I could use.
Yeah.
And that's who he started dealing with, asking Tommy, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? And then Fifth started talking to Floyd, saying, man, look, you giving Al 10%, but we doing all the marketing, we doing all the work. And what is he really doing? The paperwork? He was like, we could do that. You talking about you want to start your promotional company, the money team? Let's do it. He's like, well, ain't nothing stopping us from doing that. Because Mayweather Promotions didn't exist yet. They were still under Golden Boy.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he was like, look, man, let's just go ahead and let's do it this way. Let's me and you, we get our company and we scout these fighters. You know who the best fighters is. So Floyd went and scouted all these fighters that he was gonna sign. He had Gamboa, Billy Dibb, and it was a couple other guys.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, man, we'll start it up, we'll do this and that. But he was like, yeah, that sounds good. But he was like, not gonna ever cut away from Al Haymon. But he didn't tell him that. Then when he went to jail, it was a lot of weird activity after that. Fifth is in the courtroom, making sure he there for Floyd. You know, he wanted to be seen like, I'm gonna be there for him. And even when Floyd got out of jail, this is when things all ultimately changed. Floyd got rid of a lot of people that was hanging around him after that. After he get out of jail, he's back home. Like, he's getting out, he's gonna get released. The guy from New York used to pick him up, Fifth knew him too. They called him Money Made Driver. I forgot his real name, but the Money Made Driver used to pick him up, and he was coming, I think his name Miguel, but he was going to pick him up. And Fifth was like, nah, man, let me pick him up. Let me get him. Let me drive up and get him. He was like, that's weird. You don't drive up and pick up Floyd Mayweather. But he was like, no, because we're going to document this, and it's going to look good, on camera, seeing me pick Floyd up and all that. It's part of the documentary. So it's all part of the show. You still the driver. You ain't fired, nigga. So he go over there, and Fifth is driving the car. And he come up there and pick Floyd up, and Floyd get in the car with him, and they drive off. They look at Fifth came and picked up his boy Floyd. And he was like, oh, man, he really played that. He really played that angle. As soon as he came out, because Tommy was talking to Floyd in jail, like, yeah, man, because we finna get this thing going, and you gonna be, you gonna be the star of your own label, your own boxing promotion.
Promotion company,
yeah. And as soon as he came home, Floyd had the party, everybody at the house. He had a little baby fro. He was swole from all them push-ups. And soon as he wasn't home a minute. And soon as he comes in there, here comes this paperwork. Fifth give him this paperwork and was like, yeah, man, I need you to sign. So you could put your 1.5 million up. He said, I put 1.5, you put 1.5, and we good. He was like, for what? He was like, the label, the money team. Yeah, I already went and did it. So all you gotta do is put my, give me back my 1.5. We good.
Yeah.
And he's like, we got the label. We good. We ready to go. He's like, I ain't tell you to do that. It's like, I ain't tell you to go ahead and green like that. He was like, man, we talked about it. What the hell are you talking about? With Tommy and everything. This was Fifth's whole move. He knew Floyd was never going to leave out. So he know if I push all the way in and just go ahead and buy it, he ain't got no choice but to roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he really played this angle with Tommy and everybody else. So he was like, man, I'm not leaving Al Haymon. Like, no, hell no. I can't. He know he can't because Al got this money.
Yeah.
I got to pay him his money. And see, we know that now. This is why he ain't like, I ain't never leaving Al. Yeah. Of course you couldn't leave Al back then because the money, he's hitting you off with money. So when Al found out everything that Fifth did, Fifth was done. To show you the power of Al Haymon, wiped him completely, almost broke. He almost broke 50 Cent. 50 Cent had to get out of boxing ASAP. He couldn't, he's like, oh, yeah, I couldn't. It's too much politics. It's like, no, you went up against Al. So Fifth got mad and did what Fifth would do. He went and signed everybody that Floyd liked on the list. Fifth don't know nothing about him. He just signed him anyway. He took Billy Dibb, Gamboa. He took James Kirkland. He picked all these people up Floyd had on the list. Like, yeah, I'm. Was
it Gamboa with 50 when Gamboa fought Crawford?
Yeah, he was with them.
Okay,
yeah, because the thing is that Top Rank ended up getting him because Fifth had to get protection because every time he tried to promote his fighters, Al Haymon would make a call and then they'd be like, well, we can't televise the fight. He was like, it's a title fight. How my fighter you gonna have a title fight and not televise? Mm-hmm. He was like, look, I'm just telling you, we can't televise. That was Al Haymon making a call saying, oh, they finna televise a Billy Dibb fight, Mayweather, because he changed the name from the money team because he already had it licensed, but he got rid of it once Floyd went there and turned it to SMS Boxing after the headphones he got.
Yeah, I remember that.
Got him in trouble with Jimmy Iovine because they had Beats headphones.
They had Beats.
So that got them into problems. So now he got it on both sides. You got Jimmy Iovine on one side. Now you got Al Haymon, the biggest dude in boxing at this time, as the advisor. He finna run you out of boxing. So he's letting him put up all his money and he bleeding him. And Fifth is like, man, I'm just losing all this money. I got a gym training fighters, and he's like, I can't even get them fights. And when I do, Al Haymon don't want them televised. He kicked them right off the air. He got an ESPN deal. So he ran to Bob Arum, and Bob was like, I'll get you fights. I'll get you on, but you got to perform. So he got 50 coming down from the roof of the building, performing and coming. He got 50 performing or promoting. I was like, you a promoter and you gotta sing and promote. Then he had you come out saying Floyd's scared of Pacquiao. And I was like, man, you did all of that for nothing because that wasn't gonna help you at all.
Yeah.
And Al knows it. I was like, well, Bob gonna get out of it what he want, but in the end, Fifth gonna be out of here. And then James Kirkland was his last hope. He was like, all right, cool. If you beat Canelo, we good. And I know Kirkland can do it. So he was like, yeah, I can get James Kirkland, gave James this bag. He's like, this is it. This is our whole future. We betting on it. And Kirkland was knocked out in 2 rounds. And he was like, that's it. I'm done. Because he's like, I thought he was coming in with Ann Wolf. And
Ann Wolf wasn't in the corner. Yeah. If Ann Wolf was in his corner, he would do the whole, he wouldn't have got knocked out. Not in the second round. Yeah. Hey, Karceno, so in closing, how do you, because there's 2 sides to the story. And just because you file a lawsuit don't mean that you're going to win.
True.
So how do you just your gut feeling or whatever? How do you see this playing out?
Well, I don't think a settlement is going to be in place. I think it's going to eventually get thrown out. But what this do is it hold back creditors. The people that are saying, "Hey, we got like creditors coming," because Floyd owes so much. Like 2 properties was already gone.
Mhm.
His building that he owes like 52,000 in taxes on that building that housed the strip club. It's a lot of stuff he ain't paying for because, and then he's trying to say, "Well, this is why they were stealing from me." So you put this lawsuit out here and it holds off the creditors because it's like, well, it's a $340 million legal battle going on. So
Mhm.
while this legal battle is taking place, this is why then after the legal battle, we'll decipher what's going on. Meanwhile, this buys Floyd time to try to get money from his new friends and see what else he can get. This fight with Mike Tyson in Africa and all of this stuff. So I have no idea where he's gonna go, but that's a crazy situation with that he's going down. And
I wanted to ask you, do you know MC? Dude by the name of MC?
I do know a guy named MC. Yes,
I'm see if this is the same guy. He was a manager in boxing, and he is the one that introduced Floyd Mayweather to Tank Davis. Is that the same one?
I wasn't there when they made the introduction, but
Okay.
it might have been him. It wouldn't have been irregular for that to happen. Floyd probably already knew of Tank from the Nationals and everything else, but AB, when I was there, because I was in Tank camp, the one they had the Mayweather was the awful worst camp in history. Like Tank people weren't even there with it, and he looked terrible. That was for the Conor McGregor on that card.
Yeah, that car. You had what Conor
And he didn't
McGregor.
make
Savannah Marshall was on there too, right?
who?
Was it Savannah Marshall on that card?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't make weight, and I knew he's gonna give up the belt on the scales. He was looking terrible in camp. Like it was awful. I don't know what problems he had going on in camp, but it was terrible. But the problem that they had, I mean, when I saw him with AB, because he was about billions, and Tank was his guy, and he was supposed to sign with him, but he ain't had the money for Tank. And he knew, he's like, man, about billions ain't really set up yet. We just say we about billions.
Just say we're about being set up.
Right.
Yeah, this guy MC ended up going to prison. That's why he wasn't around when Tank took off, and when Tank really took off, he made the introduction. And then he shortly, Agent Broner was around and all that stuff. And everybody know who this guy is, who was around at that time. He used to manage Malik Scott, Tony Harrison. So he told me that Floyd was stuck on Devin Haney. He thought Devin Haney was Floyd's guy. He really liked Devin because he got the cosign from the father and stuff. He was around during that time, this guy here.
Oh yeah, because Billy is a street dude, and he knew, Billy and his father and all them, like they knew Bill Haney, like his people. And that's why Devin was always like, okay, Devin is like one of us, like they considered him family more than anything. Like Devin was like into the group. And I thought he was related to Floyd. That's how I was like, because I was like, he looked like a young Floyd, like from the Sinclair family. He looked like them. I was like, man, is this his cousin? When I first saw Devin, I was like, man, y'all look just alike. Mannerisms, he looked like young Floyd.
Yeah.
Like them young Sinclair. So I was like, they related. So I used to always think that they were related. Then Nate Jones trained with for Devin Haney when he fought in New York. He worked with David Haney and Bill Haney. Nate Jones went over there and did work with them. Now, he didn't get a chance to work with Teofimo Lopez, but Teofimo brought him out there, and he might be working with Teofimo Lopez now. And so he wasn't working with the Haney camp for the last fight against Norman. So, and that fight went the way I thought. I said, yep, Devin's going to do what he's going to do there. So
Yeah, man. I mean, bro, man, Karceno, man, like you were the first dude I thought about, bro. Because I remember back in the day when as I said, I used to watch you. You used to talk about Floyd because I know you had a close relationship. You had a relationship with Floyd, and you used to talk about Floyd just all the time. Just a lot of stuff that was going on and stuff like that, and you know the backstory. So it was very, very important for me to reach out to you because I'm like, man, I used to watch Karceno, bro. We talking about 2014.
Yeah,
2015, 2006, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Way before I even thought about getting on.
Nobody even knew about the Derrick Rose situation. That never came out anywhere except for here with Floyd and Derrick Rose almost had a crash out, and it was gonna be crazy. That was gonna be crazy. And it was not even between Derrick Rose and Floyd. And I was like, that's weird. It was Derrick Rose, like he was becoming the prince of the NBA's MVP. 2011 is his season. He's having a birthday party in Chicago. And he chose Floyd to come to his party. It's on his flyer. And it's like special guest, Floyd Mayweather. But they ain't reached Floyd yet. You know what I'm saying? They just put him on the flyer and everything. And, you know, Reggie Rose is, you know, he's synonymous in the streets. You know, like if you know Derrick Rose, you know his brother Reggie.
Yeah.
Right. So Reggie Rose is a street dude. And the fact is, Reggie ended up calling and contacting Floyd, and they got in contact with Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd was like, gets on the phone, and he was like, you know, Derrick's having his birthday party on this date. We want to know if you're available, you know, be a guest, you know, show up there in Chicago, blah, blah, blah. And Floyd said, no problem. He said, oh, you want me to be at his party? No problem. He's just like, well, he said, when I throw some, you know, I just want Derrick to come up over here. He said, I won't even charge Derrick. He's like, I'll come up there, I'll fly up there, whole nine. I'll come there, but it's just that when I have something, you know, I want Derrick to show up, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna charge him, you know, like he better not charge me, you know, for him to show up here. You know, we do it like that. We brothers. So that's how we'll do it. You know, we'll help each other out. And he was like, oh, cool, that ain't no problem. We good. So and Floyd was like, all right, cool, just let me talk to Derrick. And he was like, well, you talking with me? He's like, yeah, you his brother and everything. Yeah, I still got. He's like, no, I'm his manager. I do everything. Like, I handle that. So he was like, look, I know what you saying. He was like, how you think I got your number? That's what Reggie like. How you think I got your number? I'm the manager. He's like, I know that. That's cool. But the same way I'm talking with you, I want to hear this from Derrick himself. I want to talk to Derrick. So put Derrick on the phone. You don't have to talk to Derrick. He talking with me. And he was like, you talking to me, you talking to Derrick. So that's what he said. You talking to me, you talking to Derrick. And he was like, look, man, I ain't playing this. Call me back. You know what I'm saying? When, you know, you got Derrick on the phone. So the phone call hangs up. Floyd hangs up. Like, all right, that's done. They call back 10 minutes later. And it's Reggie again. And he's like, do you got Derrick on with you? He was like, I just told you. He's like, you just hung up on me? He was like, man, who is you? And Floyd like, who is you, man? I told you to get Derrick. I want to talk to Derrick. If I don't talk to Derrick, this ain't happening.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with talking to Derrick?
That's what I wanted to know, dude. He felt Floyd was dissing him, like dismissing him, like you don't matter. Let me talk to Derrick. And Reggie's like, wait a minute, I do matter. I'm the brother. What I say go. So that's it. When you talk to me, you talking to Derrick. So so it became a macho thing. And Floyd went up like, dude, who is you? You ain't nobody. You know, like, dude, man, you just work for Derrick. You somebody that worked for Derrick. So he treated him like really disrespectful. Floyd got really disrespectful with him. And told him, like, you are nobody. And Reggie was like, do you know who I am? Like, do you really don't know who I am, do you? Like, he's like,
yeah, but what my thing is, I get what Reggie is saying, but if Floyd want to speak to his brother, what's the harm in? Oh, okay, no problem, Floyd. Yeah, you can talk to him. What's wrong with that? Since you asking him to appear at his brother's party or whatever,
I didn't see a problem with that either. But it was the way it was delivered that made Reggie said, like Reggie was like, he wouldn't have had a problem with doing that either. It was Floyd's attitude, like he was demanding him, and
his
and
ego,
like,
his ego got involved. I got
Reggie, it was an ego thing, and Reggie is a street dude with a lot of power now. He got Derrick Rose as the MVP of the league, and he's big dog in the street. And this finna crash. So I get a call from Nate. This is how I know everything was going on. I get a call from Nate. He said, "Man, you heard a dude named Reggie Rose?" I was like, he's supposed to be Derrick Rose's brother. I'm like, yeah, Reggie? Like, yeah, what's going on with Reggie? He's from Inglewood. Yeah, yes, I know of Reggie Rose. And he was like, why? He told me the situation. I'm like, he was like, dude, we might be calling up the guys to come see him. I was like, no, do not call the guy.
Yeah.
Do not call. This will go left.
It's gonna go left.
Yes, it's gonna go way left. Do not do that. He was like, because we thinking of calling up some guys to see Reggie. I'm like, no, don't do that. And you know, they from the green, so it was Cabrini, and you already talking about two.
Cabrini, man.
Yeah, it's two different groups that don't really clash, go well with one another. And this was gonna turn into an affair that nobody wanted. And I'm like, this is going to be horrible for everybody. Don't do nothing. And so all of a sudden, then he's like, let me go talk to Floyd. I'll be back. So after talking with Floyd, he comes back and says, I talked to Floyd. He was like, did they say Floyd name on the radio going to be there? He was like, if they do, let me know. So I called back and he said, oh, did Floyd was on there? He was like, did they say? I was like, he's on the flyer. Okay, cool. Floyd finna sue him. So Floyd now is finna sue Derrick Rose them for false advertisement and everything. He finna sue Reggie Rose, all of them. I'm just like, this is another bad idea. I'm like, do you want Floyd Mayweather to sue Derrick Rose, who's finna be MVP this year? He's going to be the most valuable player in the NBA. He's the biggest star next to LeBron James right now. You want to have Floyd Mayweather sue him at this point over a party? I was like, dude, this city would turn against him in a heartbeat. I was like, dude, this is another bad idea. I said, man, let me talk to Floyd. I said, Floyd, I got him on the phone. Floyd's heated. He's arguing in the background. He was like, yeah, man, what's up? What? You know this dude, man? What? I'm like, hey, Floyd, look, all that is a bad idea. And I told him, I said, this is why. This is blah, blah, blah. So I start running it down to him directly. And I said, you know what? You want to hurt them? You want to get back? Yeah. You know what you do? Yeah. Don't show up. They the one advertising you. So if they advertising you and you don't show up, you never said you was going. You ain't got to show up. They the one. It's egg on them because they put your name out there. You don't have to show up. And he was like, he paused for a minute. He said, "Yeah, you right. Yeah, you right. Yeah, I like the way you think. Yeah, see, yeah, he right. See, it's on them. I ain't say I was going nowhere, and I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. No, you're right though. You're right.
Yeah. So that's what happened. He didn't show up. You can easily find the flyer. It's somewhere out there too. But just for everybody to know, him and Derrick is cool now. They done met up, talk. That's been water under the bridge. But that's a fun story from the past that none of you ever heard really that was going down.
Hey man, Mr. Man Karceno, man, bro, I really appreciate you, man. Like you really educated me on a lot of stuff as well as the audience. I kind of like figured, Floyd he's with the small hats now, so he got some new friends, and so now he's dropping a lawsuit, but he spent a lot of money, he gambled a lot, he blew a lot of his money, and he reaching for straws right now.
Yep, he reaching for anybody that can give him a lifeline.
Hey man, hey Karceno, bro, I appreciate you, man. Listen, man, I'm gonna drop your So how often do you do shows on your Patreon? Cause I'm gonna sign up today.
Oh, I'm there every day dropping videos.
All right. But listen, man. Listen, I'm gonna drop Karceno for life. For life and Patreon.
Patreon and on YouTube, same thing.
And on YouTube. All right, man. Listen, man. Karceno, I appreciate you, brother. And man, I'm gonna reach out to you again, man. I really.
Oh man, great
appreciate
anytime, man.
All right, man. But listen, let's give Karceno a round of applause, y'all. Give a round of applause, man. Hey, man, hey, I appreciate you, man. Hey, shout out to Karceno, man.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.